Good evening. It's Friday night. Shabbat is coming, and it's our joy to welcome you to Valley Beth Shalom live and online, Kabbalat Shabbat with Cantor Phil. And I'm Rabbi Ed Feinstein, and members of the Valley Beth Shalom community are gathered tonight on this Zoom call, and friends all across the world are gathered to celebrate the Shabbat. This has been a long and difficult week for us all as this crisis continues. And as well, this last week, we commemorated the difficult day of Yom HaShoah and remembered the horrors of the Holocaust and commemorated and celebrated the courage of those who survived, the courage of those who resisted, the courage of those who didn't lose hope after the Shoah. And now comes the Shabbat with a promise of peace. So everyone take a very big, deep breath and gather yourself together, and we'll join the Cantor in the prayers of Kabbalat Shabbat. Cantor.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharei, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Malachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharei, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Malachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Malachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu, Nil Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Malachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu, Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Lechun ranena, lechun ranena, lechun ranena, lechun ranena, lechun ranena, lechun ranena. Naria, letzuri sheinu nekadma, wana betoda. Naria, letzuri sheinu, v'ilmirov naria lo, lechun ranena. Adonai, Umelech Gadol al Kol Elohim. Ki El Gadol Adonai, Umelech Gadol al Kol Elohim. Lechu neranena, Lechu neranena, Lechu neranena, Adonai. Lechu neranena, Lechu neranena, Lechu neranena, Adonai. Lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai. Or zaru ala tzadik, or zaru ala tzadik. Yai lai 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 lai. Tzadikim Baronai vehodu lezecher Kodsho. Simchut tzadikim Baronai vehodu lezecher Kodsho. La tzadi, or zarua, la tzadi. Yai dai dai, yai da dai dai, yai da dai dai, ha da dai dai. Romemu Adonai, Eloheinu, Romemu, Romemu Adonai, Eloheinu, Romemu, Romemu Adonai, Eloheinu, Romemu, Romemu Adonai, Eloheinu, Romemu, Ish Tachavu lehar kodsho ish tachavu lehar kodsho ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu Adonai Eloheinu Eloheinu, Romemu, Romemu, Adonai, Eloheinu, Romemu, Romemu, Adonai, Eloheinu, Romemu.
When I was a little kid, my dad used to go away. When I was a little kid, my mom and dad would go away and leave us with my grandmother. And my grandmother used to tell us stories from the old country. And one of the sweet stories she used to tell us, a very famous Jewish story, was about a little man named Yekel, who lived a terribly poverty-stricken life in the old country. But Yekel was a man full of dreams. And he dreamed with all of his heart that one day he would find the treasure that would make it all right. He would find a treasure that would bring him everything that he desired in life. He would find a treasure that would be his and his alone. And every night he would sit at the table in his little tiny kitchen on a broken chair and a wobbly table and dream about the riches, the treasure that would be his. And every night he'd go to sleep and wake up in the morning just as poor as he'd always been. And then one night he had a dream. And in the dream, he saw the treasure. There it was. It was buried beneath a bridge in the great city, just by the river. And the dream was so vivid and the treasure was so real that he jumped from his bed in the middle of the night and ran to the great city and found the spot by the river beneath the bridge and began to dig a hole. And he dug and he dug and he dug and he dug. And in the middle of his digging, as the sun was coming up and the day was breaking, there came along a policeman who looked down at a little Jew digging a hole in the middle of the city under the bridge next to the river. And he asked him what he thought he was doing. And Yaakov realized he couldn't hide. So he pulled himself out of the hole and brushed himself off and looked up into the cruel eyes of the policeman and said, I had a dream last night that the treasure that God has in the world for me is waiting here at this spot, just beneath the bridge, just by the river, here in the middle of the great city. And the policeman laughed at him and said, you believe your dreams? Only a fool believes in dreams. I had a dream last night, said the policeman. I had a dream that there's a little Jew named Yekel who lives in a village not far from here. And what the poor fool doesn't know is that beneath the floorboards of his kitchen, there lies a treasure. But I don't believe my dreams, said the policeman. I don't believe that dreams mean anything. Yekel hears his name and mention of his house and the village he lives in and realizes this is what he was sent to do. And so he picks himself up and he runs back to his home, pushes aside the little table and the little chair, takes up the floorboards, and there it is, beneath the floorboards, where he'd sat all those nights dreaming. There was the treasure. The treasure is right here, wherever you are. The treasure isn't out there. The treasure isn't far away in some distant mystical land in some fantasy. The treasure is simply noticing where you are and what's about you and what possibilities life brings you at this very moment. What's ironic is that as we are isolated one from the other, we find ourselves in so many ways together more intensely to discover each other, to discover our needs and our feelings and our wants and our dreams and our fantasies and our hopes and our disappointments and our successes and our pride, all the elements of personality, husbands and wives, parents and children, grandparents and grandchildren, friends. In this intense social isolation, we have found moments of intense social connection to really discover who and what we are. That's the treasure that God leaves in the world. In the 16th century, when a group of mystics gathered to celebrate the holy Shabbos, they looked for a metaphor, for a symbol that might capture their joy at a day given to nothing but enjoying the gifts of God's world, the gifts of life. And the wonderful metaphor they chose was the love between a husband and a wife. And they imagined that the coming of Shabbat was like the coming of a queen, like the coming of a bride, like the coming of a princess into our midst. And so they sang, Lecha dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela, come my friends, and let's greet the bride. Let's greet the queen. Let's greet the princess and make her days happy. Because in that beautiful moment of social connection, of intimate soul-to-soul connection, is everything God hopes for us in this world. Lecha dodi.
Lecha dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela, Lecha dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela, Gamor v'zachor v'ribor echad, Ishmianu el hamiuchad Adonai echad, U'shemo echad, L'shem u'tiferet, L'tila, אדוני לקראת קלה פני שבת קבלה אדוני לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה על ברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה נסוך מעשה ומחשבה תחילה אדוני לקראת קלה פני שבת גלמלה אדוני לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה גם ושמחה ומצולות רוחבוני עם סגולה בואי קלה בואי קלה אדוני לקראת קלה פני שבת קבלה אדוני לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבל. Let's hear you sing it. קבלה אדוני לקראת קלה פני שבת
We begin the Mariv prayers with the chanting of Baruch Hu. If you can stand up wherever you are, please stand up.
Baruchu et Adonai Hamevorach Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Voed Umavir Yom Umevin Laila Umavdil Ben Yom Uven Laila Adonai Tzevaot Shemo El Chai V'Kayam Tamidim Nochal Leinu Leolam Vaed Baruch Atah Adonai Hamariv Haravim Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otarnu limadta Al ken Adonai Eloheinu V'shovbeinu v'kumeinu Nasiach v'chukecha V'nismach b'niverei Toratecha U'v'mitzvotecha Le'olam v'ed Ki heim chayenu Ve'orech yameinu לאורך ימינו ובהם נגד יומם ולילה ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם אמן יאי לה 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 יאי לה 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 יאי לה 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 יאי לה 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 יאי לה 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 יאי לה 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 יאי לה 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 יאי לה 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 מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נהדר בקודש מי כמוך באלים אדוני נור התהילות עושה הפלא לי 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 לילי מלכותך ראו עליך בוקי היום לבני משה זה לי ענו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך אלוהי עולם ועד לילה ונאמר כי פנה אדוני את יעקב וגלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Tonight we pray for only one thing. Only one thing are we allowed to ask of God on Shabbos, and that's the blessing of peace, of wholeness, and of life. So we pray together. We think about all of those who are ill and stricken during this plague. We think about all of those who have put their lives between life and death, between healing and hurt. We think of all of those who have stepped out into the world to care for the ones we love. We think of all of those who worry each night for those who are out there fighting against the disease. We gather all their thoughts, all of their hopes, all of their souls together into our prayers. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, let us lie down tonight in peace. V'amidenu malkenu l'chayim, and raise us up in the morning to life. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, spread above us the shelter of your peace. V'taknenu b'etzat tova milfanecha v'oshienu leman shemecha, V'yagein b'yadeinu v'yaser me'aleinu oyev dever v'cher v'rav v'yagon. And let everything that threatens us and threaten our peace be banished. V'yaser satan milfanenu me'acharenu uv'tzel kenafecha tastirenu. Protect us, God, beneath the wings of your holy presence. Kiel shomrenu matzilenu ata ki melech hanun v'rachum ata. Because you are the source of love and kindness, because you have taught us to care for one another and taught us to heal and to help. Ushmor tzeitenu v'oenu l'chaim v'shalom mi'ata v'ad olam. Protect us now and always. Ufros aleinu sukkot shlomecha. Baruch ata Adonai haporei sukkot shalom. Aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. If you can stand up, we stand up and join the cantor, V'shamru b'nei Yisrael.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברך חירותי וימליך מלכותי. בחייכון וביומכון וחיי דכל בית ישראל. בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה. יתברך יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל. שמי לקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה. תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן ועלמה ויאמרו Amen.
A few quiet moments of personal prayer. The words of the Amidah follow in the prayer book on page 35, or just a few moments to reflect on the week past and pray for the peace of the Shabbos yet to come. A few quiet moments of meditation and prayer. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha ve'al kol yoshvei tevel tasim leolam. Spread great peace above us and above all the inhabitants of this world. Ki atahu melach Adon kol lechol shalom, because you, God, are the source of peace and wholeness to all that is. You are what it is that holds us all together as one. V'tov be'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael, and may it be good in your eyes to bless your people Israel b'chol eit, u'b'chol sha'ad, every moment, bishlomecha, with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, praised are you, God, hamivarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom, who blesses the people Israel with peace, who is revealed to us in the blessing, the gift, the treasure of peace.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Shalom, Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol leil u'b'chol shah bishlomecha. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
Well, we're entering now the 6th week of our isolation. And while they talk about reopening, it doesn't look like there's any end in sight. This might go on for quite a while longer. And I know it's been very difficult for many of us. For many of us, we wake up scared and we go to bed depressed. And in the course of the day, we feel tension and we feel boredom and we feel the tediousness of this and the desperation and the difficulty. If you go out shopping, there's a long line in front of the supermarket. If you take a walk on the street, there are people who wear masks and people who wouldn't bother wearing a mask. And there's frustrations that grow inside of us. I want you to remember the great teaching of the great Hasidic master, Rabbi Nachman of Bratslav. Rabbi Nachman actually in his life was a clinical example of a manic depressive. He had high highs when he thought he was the Messiah, and he had low lows when he thought that everything in the world was dark. But Rabbi Nachman taught us out of that psychological oscillation back and forth, that vacillation back and forth, he taught one simple lesson. He said it's important for a human being to find joy in all moments, even in the dark moments, to find the joy, to find something to say yes to life about. For Rabbi Nachman, the purpose of religion is to be a discipline to teach us joy. Now think about that for a moment. We imagine joy comes to us, just automatically. It's like fun. It just sort of happens to us. Things are good and we feel happy. But for the Rebbe, for Rabbi Nachman, the cultivation of a heart ready to accept joy, the cultivation of a sensitivity ready to find joy in simple things, the cultivation of a disciplined mind and a disciplined eye to see the joyful parts of life. That's what religion is really all about. And so I'm going to ask that you begin to cultivate that. We're going to need it. There's no other way. because there isn't going to be a simple and quick end to this. This is going to last quite a while. This, the isolation, the panic, the fear, the sense of tediousness, the sense of being smushed together. We need to find joy in these moments. Otherwise, we'll only find insanity at the end of all of this. Rabbi Nachman taught, Tzarich liot tamid b'simcha, that the highest mitzvah, the highest commandment, the highest imperative, the highest task of a spiritual life is to cultivate a heart that is ready to accept joy, ready to find goodness, ready to see light, even though there is so much darkness all about. Shabbos is coming, the sun will be setting, peace will come to the land, and we will celebrate this moment in joy. Cantor, lead us in the Kiddush and then in Aleinu L'Shabeach.
And you know what, Rabbi? My fault, but because it's so bright outside, I forgot to light the candles at the beginning.
That's okay. So let's do that and then make Kiddush. How's that?
Okay, good idea. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahavahu v'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit Ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh zecher litziat Mitzrayim ki vanu v'acharta v'yotanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha v'ahava v'ratzon inchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashamat. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol latet gedula liotze breshit shelo asanu kegoyei ha'aratzot velo samanu kamishbechot ha'adama שלא שם חלקנו כהם וגורלנו ככל המונם ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ככתוב בתורתך Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed v'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shamo
As we finish our prayers, we take a moment to remember loved ones who have passed on. We take a moment to gather their souls, their memories, their wisdom together with us. This week, we share our prayers with the Kabbalat family on the loss of their beloved father and grandfather, Oren. We share our prayers with our friend Malcolm Katz on the loss of his sister, Shelley. And to all who have lost loved ones during this crisis, to all who have lost loved ones and gathered their memory close, and to all who celebrate the yard site of a loved one who was cared for and beloved in a family. Please share the words of Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. V'almad divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chai echon v'yom echon. Chayei dechol Beit Yisrael ba'agalau v'zman kari v'yamru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mivarach le'olam olmei maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudsha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush bechata v'nechemata. Damiran be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav. Huyaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Shabbat shalom to everyone. Thank you, Cantor, for leading us in this evening's prayers, and thank you to Michelle and to your grandson Phoenix for sharing these wonderful prayers with us. Right? I want to thank Nina for sharing this evening with me. And in the absence of grandchildren, we're waiting. We have Theo, the rabbi's dog, here, who's almost as fuzzy as Phoenix, but not nearly as good a singer. So thank you, and welcome to everyone who has come to share these prayers with us tonight. I'd like to say a very, very special welcome to Yossi Dresner, who's back with us again. And for those of you who are Yossi fans, and who isn't a Yossi fan, Yossi will be leading tomorrow evening's service at 6 o'clock, Mincha and Maariv, here on Facebook Live and on YouTube on the Valley Beth Shalom channel. So please tune in and share davening with Yossi. I'd like to welcome everyone else who has come to be with us. We want to wish everyone good Shabbos. Tomorrow morning, Torah study at 9 a.m. with Rabbi Sherry Hirsch and Rabbi Mark Gelman and with me. At 10 o'clock, Cantor Barron and I will be leading the davening. Tomorrow is Shabbos and Rosh Chodesh, so we offer a special prayer for the new month of Iyar, which is coming this week. Tomorrow evening, Mincha Maariv at 6 o'clock with Yossi, and at 8:15, Nina and I will be glad to lead you in Havdalah. Just tune into the Zoom call and join us together, and we'll welcome the new week with prayers of thanksgiving and hope. During the course of the week, of course, Minyan on Sunday at 8:30 and every other day of the week at 7:30 and in the evening at 6. This coming week is Yom HaAtzmaut, celebration of Israel's 72nd year. It's a great joy, a great miracle for all of us to celebrate. There are many programs that Valley Beth Shalom and other institutions in the community are putting on. If you look on the VBS website, we'll have lots of them listed for you there. Please tune in on Monday night for my interview with Dr. Daniel Hartman, who is one of my great teachers and dear friends from the Shalom Hartman Institute in Jerusalem, reflecting on how Israel has changed Jewish life. And on Wednesday night, my friends Sophie and Yakir, who lead the IAC Gvanim program, a special leadership program among young Israeli Americans, will be talking to me about how Israelis and Americans can come closer together and celebrate their Jewishness as one. Cantor, what are we doing this week? What are you leading us in this week?
Sunday evening meditation. And also on Sunday at 4 p.m., we're broadcasting the first of a series of concerts that we've recorded. They're called backyard concerts because I'm sitting out in my backyard talking to some of the most fascinating and wonderful Jewish music artists around the country and the world. We have a couple of people in Israel who are going to be with us. And this week's going to be Chris Harden from Portland, Oregon at the piano. And so please find that on Valley Beth Shalom at home. I think you'll enjoy it.
Before we conclude, we remind you that tonight is the night of the Omer. So let us remember the days of the Omer and count them together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu mitzvotav vetzivanu al sfiras haomer hayom 16 yom shehem shnei shavuot shnei amim laomer. Today's day 16. That means Shavuos is almost here. Don't forget to do your Shavuos shopping. Cantor, take us out with a Shabbos song.
ואחרי ככלות הכל, לבדו ימלוך נורא, והוא היה והוא הווה, והוא יהיה בתפארה, אדון עולם, אשר מלך בטרם כל so cold. As I berech shemo nikra veyado akiruhi ve'etisha ve'yira ve'imruchi geriati Adonai libelo ira Don olam shermana Jeremko Zirnibra Yegnasa Tepsokol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.